Okay, everybody. So it's crazy how the news cycle just shifts back and forth. Like, what was it about a week ago? Everything stopped as soon as Derek Dixon dropped those allegations about Tyler Perry. That only went on for like a couple of days tops, and then it kind of went quiet. And then before people could fully process, boom, you had the bombing at that occurred. What was it, over the weekend or something overseas, and that kind of took over the news cycle. Now the topic of the week is B Simone in a interview. What is it, like a podcast or whatever she was on, talking about how she had to be real with her friends in regards to not having the extra spending money, so she had to shop at H&M rather than Bloomingdales. And I had to look it up, and Bloomingdales is like a clothing store and whatnot, but I know what H&M is because I recall seeing one of those when I was in the town about an hour away in an apartment a few years back. But the thing is, I looked at the clip and I'm just sitting here like, okay, I don't know too much about B Simone. I know she was on Wild 'N Out. Didn't really stand out to me that much. Just kind of a loudmouth person on the cast, and I don't mean to sound that say that in a negative fashion, but she just really seemed like someone who wasn't really funny or got that many one-liners off. She was kind of the butt of the joke most of the time. But from there, anytime I saw her either trending or a clip about her online, usually something negative. What was it? Talking about how Martin Luther King wasn't a great man because he cheated on his wife, or some people saying that she scammed customers by plagiarizing a book or something and putting it out there for people to buy. And I think the most recent one was the whole saying she didn't want a man with a 9 to 5 because she wanted someone who's like a entrepreneur or creator influencer like her, so they could be on the same wavelength and whatnot. And I remember at the time, I'm a content creator, eBay seller, and I don't know if I would want to date a woman who was doing the same thing as me, because I feel like knowing how my own schedule is and whatnot, it just might be too stressful. I mean, sure, it would be cool to date someone who understood, what I do and whatnot, but I don't know. But in any case, all that leads to this conversation. I actually, it's kind of a twofold reason why she's a trending topic. One, because of a friend saying that she was struggling and she saw B Simone helping out all these other people, but not her. And then when she was finally given an opportunity for a job or something, she called B Simone to, tell her friend that, hey, I had a come up. And then B Simone felt jealous or whatever because of the fact that it was a situation where she wasn't making money with this person. It's kind of weird. But yeah, speaking of the Bloomingdale's thing, the clip, for context, here's the thing though. And I'm not trying to absolve B Simone from the backlash she's getting, but it seems to me this could be her being more clever than people are giving her credit for, given the fact that I feel like she knows what she says and does, depending on what it is, will get a lot of traction online. And as a result, it brings more people to her platform. Because during the viral clip, she talks about how she's invested a good amount of her money into her upcoming app and the platform, I guess, like her podcast or whatever. So at the moment, she doesn't have a lot of, spending money or liquid, if you will, just, money sitting in her account. Her money is funneled into her platform, and it's an investment she knows is going to, bring back even more money, but in due time. So that's why she doesn't have the money to just say, I'm going to Bloomingdale's like she usually does. It's H&M, H&M. And as someone who works for themselves, or, well, yeah, looks for them, dang it, what's the proper English here? As someone who works for myself, there you go. It's a situation where I know what that's like, to take a good amount of money and, buy like clearance toys or collectibles from a GameStop or Walmart or on Amazon, and then I'll throw it in either my storage unit in the backyard or the closet in my office. And, over time, let that item I bought for like $12 gain a profit through supply and demand. It's like, okay, this thing I bought that was usually $57, but I got it for $8. I can flip it in several months and make a huge profit. Yeah, that's how it works. But for her to just be so tone deaf, part of me doesn't want to believe she's that ignorant. But then again, I'm like, well, looking at all the other reasons she's trending, she probably is. Because this is the prime example of like a family who thinks they're poor because they can't go on vacation every summer, or, oh, my wife can't buy, 6 pieces of jewelry for her birthday. It's like, no, it's like, you're not poor. You're just, no, you're doing better than most. And like B. Simone said, it's like, I'm not like down bad. I still got, jewelry, and I have assets I could sell and go shopping if I want to. But it's just like, I don't know. This is one of those prime examples where not everybody needs to have a microphone, or basically like this could have stayed in like the group chat, because of the fact that it just doesn't make sense. And then she's tearing up and all. It's like, don't get me wrong, like this will be one thing, is like her investment crashed, and it's like all the money I put into my app and whatnot, and it blew up. I mean, yeah, that's a risk of any business person. Like, if you put a lot of money into something and it crashes and burns, and now you're worse off from when you started. But it's a learning thing, and hopefully you can make that money back. But I don't really know what she was trying to accomplish by divulging this information. Was it supposed to be relatable or garner sympathy? Because if nothing else, it just seems like you are alienating possibly a large portion of your audience who either shop at H&M, or, let's be real, might not even be able to afford going into H&M. And yet you look down on it like, and Twitter is undefeated. It's like, I was going to go to Five Guys for lunch today, but then I checked my bank account and I had to go to Wendy's instead. And to be completely honest, I don't care how much money you have, how much bread you're making. Five Guys is going to take a huge bite of it. Like, give me that full for full. Or, you know what? I wanted to go into Target, but I didn't have enough, so I had to go to Dollar Tree. Okay, that one had me. I was done after that. And the list goes on. I'm literally on Twitter right now, just just looking at these because they're hilarious. The internet is undefeated, and I just feel like it's really out of touch to have that kind of conversation just so plainly. Like, H&M is a discount store. Like, it's just, I don't know. But with that being said, there are a lot more important things for us to worry about, given the fact that, oh no, she has to shop at H&M rather than Bloomingdale's. Well, think about the people, probably a good chunk of your audience, who are struggling to make ends meet. Buying groceries, getting gas. It's summertime and gas prices gone up, and groceries are, I'm using the word steady loosely because I just had a grocery delivery yesterday, and I'm like, wow, that was a $40 cheaper than last time. But either way, I'm still looking at it like, I don't know. I mean, before I know it, the next time I had to buy groceries, prices might go back up again. So I really do feel like when it comes to these quote unquote, serious question, is B. Simone even a celebrity, or what is she like? I think she's labeled as like a comedian or something. Like, how did she get the notoriety she has? I'm guessing social media. Then that led to Wildin' Out. Then she started doing a podcast and stuff like that, but I don't know. So yeah, I think this is low key probably her just trolling, getting her name in the algorithm. That's just my thought. And keep in mind, she talked about it in the app, so I feel like people talking about her on this scale is probably going to flood into her app at some point. But that's just my opinion. So let me know yours in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.